Hi, Verl Workman here, CEO of Workman Success Systems, and I am thrilled and excited to be with my good friend Michele Harmon. Michele Harmon is a phenomenal real estate agent and team leader in Texas, and we're excited to hear all about the difference they make in their community. Welcome to the show today, Michele. Glad you're here.
Thank you, Verl. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, Michele, give us a quick snapshot. Tell us a little bit about your business. Tell us about who you are.
Okay. We're a team of 8. I've been in the business 8 years. We started adding up numbers last year for my 8-year anniversary and learned that we'd helped over 500 families, done over 200 million in sales. So in a quick time, it turned from me to 8 of us, and we love helping buyers and sellers, and we really do love what we do.
You know, I love that. You know, that's a good career. You could quit now and say you had a good career in real estate, and you're still just you're still just a baby. Only 8 years. That's incredible success in such a short amount of time. Tell us a little bit about your family.
I married my high school sweetheart. We just celebrated 26 years of marriage. We've actually been together 33 years since I was 14 years old. I have 2 kids, both in college. One is going to be a student forever. He's now getting his master's degree at the University of Texas. And one is a sophomore at Oklahoma State University.
That's so fun. Whenever you and I talk about kind of our families and where we come from, that's something we have in common. Is I met my sweet wife when I was 15 and she was 12, and we've been together inseparable ever since. And my best friend, I read your comments that you married your high school sweetheart. I'm like, yeah, me too. Yeah. And I think I had to get her when she was really young before she figured out what she was getting into. Is what I look at.
Me too.
So that's really fun to have your kids, growing up and watching what they do. Talk to me about where you live in Texas, a little bit about your community and what it's like.
We live in Northwest Houston, so I'm in the Tomball area is where I live. We've been here for about 23 years. I like it because it's a small town feel, but it's really close to the big city of Houston and to a lot of other areas. And we service 5 or 6 main areas in this area, so it's we get an opportunity to experience a lot of different cultures and areas all within the Houston area. But when people send referrals and call about Houston, they don't realize how big our area really is. It is very huge. So
what are the areas that you serve?
We serve Cypress, Tomball, Magnolia, Pinehurst, the Woodlands, Conroe, Spring, pretty much anywhere in the Northwest area.
It's pretty out there. I've been there many times, and you're really close to just getting into downtown. It didn't take very long to get to downtown Houston from where you are.
No, right, with COVID traffic, no.
Yeah, I was driving yesterday, and I realized that COVID traffic is coming back. People are starting to get out there and get active again. And so I want to hear a little bit about, we hear, and I do these interviews, and I'm talking about, agents and brokers that are giving back and making a difference in their community. And you're the first one I've interviewed that actually has a very specific focus on making a difference for kids in high school and helping them go to the next level. Tell me about what you do and how you came to that, how you got into that charity.
Well, I have 2 kids that just graduated high school within the last 5 years. And when my son was a senior, I went to an award ceremony and I realized there was a lot of different scholarships out there. And I just thought, why wouldn't we do a Michele Harmon Team Scholarship? So we take a portion out of every closing and we put it towards that. And this week we just decided we're doing $3,000, $1,500 to two different high schools in our area. And we've gone from letting the school pick to now we're kind of trying to get more involved and pick the student. And we just write them a check and hopefully it'll help with their education.
I love that. So tell me about your criteria. What are you looking for?
I'm just looking for someone who is a hard worker, who looks like they have the need and that is going to a 4-year school that is, would help them overall. One of the kids that we just looked at works full time and is basically going to have to put himself through college. So that versus someone whose parents are paying his way, is huge to me.
I remember saying I've been to I can't tell you how many of my kids have graduated. I think 4 of the 6, and so I've been to at all of these. And the last one was last year. She's a freshman in college right now, and I remember sitting at the graduation and they were announcing all the scholarships. Oh, and the list was long, but it seemed like there were certain kids that got a whole bunch of them, and I didn't even know they existed. Like I am the scholarship fund for my kids, so I didn't know the other scholarships existed. And what's interesting, the difference between you and me is you thought, hey, I can make a difference. I want to give back to someone who needs help. And I just was sitting there thinking, hey, how come I didn't get any of those?
Well, I thought that too. And I knew my kids weren't ever going to get it, but I did want to try to make a difference. And it was interesting. One of the girls that the school picked last year, actually, she was going to University of Texas, which is where my husband graduated, where my son graduated. So it was kind of special that the school picked her, but it worked out pretty good. So it's been fun.
That's really fun. So are you doing anything to follow these kids as over the years to see how they do? And
well, we just started, I think, 3 years ago. So I keep in touch with them on social media and I watch them, but I don't think anyone's graduated college yet. But that's a good point. We need to do that.
You brought up the scholarship and what you're doing with the kids, and I think that's amazing. But that's not the only thing you do as a team to give back to your community. What are some of the other things that you've focused on or done with to make a difference?
Well, I feel like we never do enough and we're always looking for more. This year, because this year was a little different, we've done a couple other things. We started a COVID-19 Facebook group for restaurants in our area to help them get support from local people where they can post what they're serving and how you can order to go. And people had posted what they've ordered and reviews. And so we're trying to help our local community that way. We also took, I think, about 500 stuffed Easter eggs to one of our local hospitals to donate to the doctors and nurses and the patients. So we're doing stuff like that. We've also done like food drives. We're always looking for something new to do. A lot of our focus in the past has been on, staying in touch with our clients and doing like client parties and pop-bys and stuff like that. So now we're trying to get a bigger reach and focus on helping more of the community and more volunteer stuff.
How does your team respond to the activities that you do and giving back? Is that part of your culture, or is it something you have to push them on?
No, they love doing it. No, it's absolutely no problem. It gives everybody a good sense of pride and community, and we actually, everybody's trying to help find more things that we can do because we love it.
Isn't that interesting? We come together because we want to sell more real estate, but we stay together because we start making a difference.
Absolutely. Yep. I love that.
Yeah, I just wrote that.
I'm going to quote it.
You inspired it. You inspired that thought, right? We build our teams because we want to be more successful and help more families. But the reality is that joy doesn't come from selling a house. It comes from making the difference.
Absolutely. And we definitely want to keep giving back.
So how big is that Facebook? I love the restaurant Facebook group to have your community support those restaurants. And I've seen little pieces of that. What kind of traction did you get with that?
We have about 2,000 people in there right now. So it's not bad. Yeah.
You think about that. When we're marketing for real estate, we're trying to do things, if we get a few hundred followers or likes, that's a good marketing campaign. You get 2,000, you're a rock star. That's pretty amazing.
Everybody likes to eat.
Everybody likes to eat, and people aren't sure where to go or who's open and who's not. And I'm sure that the restaurants have appreciated being on your list with that many followers.
We hope so. Yep.
Yeah, very, very cool. So what would you do? What would you recommend to other people who are trying to figure out, like they know they want to do something, but they don't know what or how to start? How do you get started giving back? Does it have to be a big thing?
No, it doesn't at all. I think for me, what started it was through RE/MAX. We used to do Children's Miracle Network, and we still do a little bit to that. But I wanted to do something that was more localized. So I just started taking out money of every closing and putting it aside. At the end of the year, I look at what I had, and then that's how I allocated it. So I think you have to have a budget, and you have to plan for it, obviously. And then you just have to have a cause. For me, it was just a scholarship was normal because I had just been through, senior with 2 kids, and I know how expensive college is, and every little bit helps. So, like I went to our Chamber of Commerce and tried to look at stuff there, and I still want to explore that option, but I think it's just a matter of what local needs are around you and how you want to focus and who you want to give to.
You live in an area that gets hit with hurricanes once in a while and floods and things like that. Did the spirit of giving present itself at a greater level when you had those catastrophic weather events within your team?
Always, yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. It was fun to watch all of all of our coaching clients and friends and just people that we have association with really step up and help each other. It was really cool to see the communities come together. And you find out who the givers are and who runs scared at that opportunity.
Absolutely.
So I love what you said, and just something I want to just reiterate to everybody is that you have to make a decision that you want to make a difference, and then start taking a little bit of every closing. You just put it aside, and then when those opportunities present themselves, you've got resources to be able to get whatever the project is started or going.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think budgeting is essential because otherwise you don't know how much you're going to give. And at the end of the year, if you don't have that money there, then you can't really do much.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. I've seen a lot of people give back without any money at all. They just give their most precious asset, and that's the time it takes to do something.
Oh, and that's great too. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love all the things that you're doing. It's so fun to see you making such a difference in the community. What are your plans going forward? Any big plans going forward, or have you got something you got your eye on that you'd like to do differently?
I've been thinking about a couple different things. I think we want to expand the scholarship and go beyond 2 schools, maybe do a couple other schools in a different school district. But we also want to do more as far as like with the food pantry and just helping locally. That's our biggest focus is I want it to go back in the community that helps support my business. So it's just a matter of exploring new ideas and keep budgeting and keep selling more so we can give more.
Love that. And I support both those things. Sell more so you can give more. Matter of fact, that is the whole purpose of this entire program, is to put people in a position where they can make a difference regardless of the money. They just can do the right thing all the time because they have the resources and they have the time and the ability to organize. How has running a team helped you organize and do some of the activities you've done from a giving perspective?
Well, it's definitely helped me leverage my time more and pawn some of the duties and stuff off. My office manager heads the scholarship. She's in charge of contacting the schools and helping pick and give them all the parameters. And it makes it a lot easier because I can focus on other things while we're still doing both at the same time.
I love that. I always task my S personality types to handle the giving, and because they absolutely don't want anyone to be left behind, and that gives them joy. This is just you and I talking for a second, Michele, but I was watching the other day, somebody gave me a list of what millennials care about the most. And we're in the process of recruiting and building teams and helping people around the country. And on their list is they want to feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves or the company. They want to give and make a difference. And I think that's a really cool attribute of the next generation that's coming up that we're developing and helping be successful because they want to give more. I love that.
Absolutely. And I think our clients see it and they recognize it and they definitely appreciate it.
Well, very good. Any advice you give to anybody that wants to get started? And then we'll wrap it up.
Just do it. I mean, just do it. Budget for it. Take a little bit out of every closing and make sure it's there at the end of the year, and every year do more and more, and just don't hesitate.
Just do something. I love it.
Exactly.
Well, Michele, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a great example of making a difference in the lives of the people that we have so much opportunity from. Our communities give us the ability to raise our families and send them to college and do all these great things. And when I find people that give back, it makes what I do more rewarding. So thank you for being part of that amazing group. And I appreciate all you do and continued success in your business and in your giving going forward.
Thank you.